Yeah, so hi guys, please unmute yourself and feel free to ask any query if you have it on the previous topic, what we just talked about it, the architecture of NSX. Before we go and just, yeah,
Yeah. Hi, Neeraj. This is Raghu.
yeah, Raghu.
Neeraj, I forgot to ask the question in the first one that you were
Sure.
explaining the NSX were there for the VMware environment, and nsx-t is just a it can
Correct,
operate in multi-cloud environment.
correct,
And now they are just calling it as NSX. Actually, there is
correct,
no V or T,
correct.
the
That's correct.
4.0. Is that correct?
That's correct. Absolutely correct.
Okay. Okay.
See, the reason is
So,
that there is no point of talking about NSX-T now because NSX-V is out of support now. It's not there anymore now. It doesn't make sense, right? So they just said that why to create a see it was there earlier because VMware came up with the NSX-V. They developed NSX-T in parallel. There was a phase where we were migrating the customers from V to T. Now everybody is there on the T, right? So what is the point of talking about as a T? So they make it very clear. ESX, NSX for the marketing and branding perspective as well.
oh, okay. So, but they removed that VDS, NVDS as well, right?
No,
Concept.
no, no. That is again a misconception actually. Raghu. See,
Oh,
when we talk about NVDS, right? They remove the NVDS from the see earlier they were supporting ESXi and KVM hypervisor. Later on, they realized that man, there is only 1% customer on KVM, 99% customers are on ESXi, and KVM has a lot of heavy lifting. So they said that no, we won't be supporting KVM hypervisor. And for the ESXi hypervisor, we only have a VDS now. Earlier in the ESXi hypervisor, also they have a NVDS support. If you remember and go back to that 1.x or 2.x product timeline of NSXT, right?
okay.
NSX started, say today it's a NSX 4.x, but it started with the 1.x. So 1.x, 2.x, or in fact, early version of 3.x also, you see that ESXi hypervisor used to support NVDS as well. But later on, they said
Okay.
that no, NVDS, we will only supporting it in our edge nodes or the bare
Oh,
metal nodes. The
okay.
ESXi
Got it.
hypervisor only will have a VDS now because VDS is our ecosystem. And we can give you a lot more simplification in terms of VDS. And that is where, if you go and deep dive into this product and the preparation, you will see that with the VDS implementation, it got way more easy to bring your transport node up and running from the data plane
Okay.
perspective. So that was the
Okay.
reason.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. It's clear, man. It's clear. Yeah. Thanks, man.
Okay, thank you. So I think there are a couple of questions basically. Can you explain brief about NSX licenses? Hey, Leela, I mean, again, this question is doesn't make sense in this workshop because there is no specific license about NSX now. If you look at that, VMware is going through a lot of changes. Basically, Broadcom has only talking about two products now, VCF and VVF. So we only have a VMware Cloud Foundation and we only have a VMware vSphere Foundation, right? So when you talk about VCF, I'm sure you everyone would have heard about VCF, right? So now NSX is not a dedicated product now; it's an integrated solution. So you want NSX, you have to purchase the entire VCF license. Okay. So instead of asking NSX license, you should talk about or you should learn about. I mean, you should just take the VCF licenses now because that's what I was saying that right today. A lot of people have. I think let me take up this question. A lot of people have one query to me. I see honestly, guys. Every day I get 20 to 25 calls, and I keep talking to the professionals on their career path and how they are struggling in their career in VMware role and how could we help them out to prepare for NSX SME, vSphere SME, or the senior level job roles, right? Because they need to have that level of expertise, right? And with this workshop, what we are having it 3 hours of workshop, I hope that your perspective about the technology would be quite different actually, and it will help you to understand the technology in a much precise way, right? So that is where we do this mentoring or we do this mentorship program for all of our experienced professional, specifically for the experienced professional. So one of the question I keep getting it, sir, why NSX, why VMware, sorry, why Broadcom have stopped giving the NSX or vSphere licenses? What is the job out there basically, right? Why should we go and take that thing? And a lot of people are migrating to Nutanix or some other hypervisor. See, it's again the same thing. I'm telling you a very straightforward thing. See, what VMware is thinking is that if today in 2025 also you are those customers who are still want to go to those shops to buy the specific product and you want to invest your time getting to those shops and doing this negotiation and buying this product and you have that much time to waste and that much energy to waste, you don't align with our vision, right? So they have a very clear mindset when you are still living in a 30-year-old stuff where today we are talking about digital transformation, which is going to be enabled with the AI. And you are still having an infrastructure where saying that, no, no, I'll just create a VM. I don't care about deploying this NSX and VCF for the entire integration. You're still saying that, no, I will go and with this 30-year-old methodology. So they said that go. We don't want to invest our time with those customers. They don't align with our vision, right? Because you are talking about something where your business does not align with our stuff, right? And that is where the other competitor saw that opportunity that they need a vSphere, give them virtual machine solution, right? And again, I'm telling you, what is happening is today, if you look out the recent articles, VMware has become a new mainframe of any data center today. All those customers who started creating a buzz that no, we are out of VMware, VMware is quite expensive. And when they evaluated other product and they are looking at the 20 years down the line, what is the cost of operation is going to run, they realize that boss, buying the VCF license is much better approach for us than getting ourselves migrating to the other hypervisor. And this is what is happening in the industry today. So this is what we say, that have that vision in place, right? Now, don't go into the buzz. Actually, be very clear what you want to do it. Otherwise, it's again the same problem the public cloud solutions are facing today. They migrated all the workloads to the public cloud, and now they're saying that there are a lot of exploits are happening, a lot of attacks, a lot of compromises are happening in the public cloud also. And now they want to again come back to the private cloud, and they don't have a rollback plan. How would you go and migrate EC2 instance without any downtime to the virtual machine? What is my rollback plan? Now, the industry asking about what is my rollback plan. And that is where I keep saying that private cloud, hybrid cloud, multi cloud is going to be the industry standard now. Okay. I think I don't want to pitch more on much on that because we are running out of time here, guys. So now, what is the next thing is it possible to use out of support network hardware in NSX environment? See, Shihab has a question. Is it possible to use out of support network hardware in NSX environment? Obviously, it is never ever recommended in the production environment. You can always use this kind of stuff for your test dev kind of environment, or lab kind of environment, or the testing environment, whatever you have it. You would never ever have this kind of solutions in the production. But yeah, one thing is, even if you have a out of support hardware and tomorrow if your hardware retires, it's fine because we are not dependent as an NSX. I'm not dependent on the hardware. You can just plug and play the new hardware. As when, let's say, you say that the out of support hardware crashes and you don't have a support of it, you just plug in a new hardware, integrate into the infrastructure, and we will push the policies to this hardware. So that is the beauty of NSX solution or any software defined networking solution, Shihab. So the one thing is always make sure it's the best practices, right? I mean, you will always have a hardware which is in support, basically, right? But the good thing is that today we don't have a dependency on the hardware. So even if my hardware is out of support, I'm fine. I can just plug and play that hardware. In NSX, node appliances are limited to 3 NSX managers. So Bhupendra have a question. In NSX, node appliances are limited to 3 NSX manager. Yes. So as of now, VMware only support 3 NSX manager only. You can go and deploy 4, 5, 6 also. There is no restriction. But from the VMware guideline perspective, as of now, their support is only for the 3 NSX manager. Now, there's a question from Arvind. What is NSX Cloud Gateway? So, Arvind, NSX Cloud Gateway is another product line of VMware, which we call NSX as a service or NSX Cloud, where what happens is whenever you create a firewall rule in the NSX, the same firewall rule can be applied to the virtual machine running on AWS EC2 or Azure VMs or GCP. So you do not need to create multiple firewall rules, one for AWS instance, one for Azure instance, one for NSX vSphere instance. So now there's the NSX cloud product. That's what I was talking about, multi-cloud. You create a policy once and automatically it will be pushed to all of these cloud solutions, the native instances, and that happens through Cloud Gateway. So that's a different
Yeah.
product altogether.
Yeah. Do you have any option to configure the NSX Cloud Gateway in the NSX
Yes.
UI?
No, so no. So we do not go and
Mm-hmm.
configure NSX Cloud Gateway from the NSX, right? There's a different portal called NSX Cloud Service Manager. So you need to use that
Okay.
particular portal.
Okay.
You
Okay.
just need to deploy. Yeah. So there's a dedicated. So there's an appliance. You need to deploy that appliance as a CSM, and then there's a dedicated UI. So you need to use that UI for the configuration, not this particular UI.
Okay.
This
Okay.
UI
So
is for managing. Yeah. Yeah.
but this UI will be only for managing transport nodes, right? Which will in the
Managing. See, this is
vSphere
about
or KVM.
NSX. See, no. This is about NSX product. The NSX Cloud Gateway belong to a different product line, which is NSX Cloud Solution. So don't get confused. These are two different products.
Oh, okay. Okay.
The product itself is different.
Okay. Understood.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, find Narala, I have a quick question. For NSX, we require physical network devices like external firewall, load balancer, external like physical servers. See, again, if you ask me straightforward, I would say for the NSX, you only require a physical switches and routers. You don't even require a firewall also. NSX will take care of it. NSX gives you all the firewall capabilities in the software itself. But honestly, you will in the enterprise architecture, if you go and really see the design architecture, earlier I need to deploy hundreds of firewalls. I just need a one perimeter firewall just at the outside of my NSX data centers. Because when the traffic is coming, right? So we want this traffic to be inspected by one of my physical firewall, then it enter into my NSX, and then we have a gateway firewall and the micro segmentation. So see, when we talk about NSX, so it's straightforward, Narala. It's again, derived from the enterprise architecture. What is the enterprise architecture having a requirement? If you ask me very honestly, from the NSX perspective, I can give you all the security in place without having any physical firewall to be installed in your infrastructure, without having any load balancer installed in your infrastructure. We have those capabilities to give you everything in the physical, in a virtual space. As simple as that. Okay. And that is the whole ideation of NSX. I hope it answered your queries, guys. So answer to your question, you don't require any external firewall. You don't require any external load balancer. VMware is giving you all these capabilities right there in their NSX platform. Okay. Okay, guys. If there is no more question, then we will move on to the next topic of our discussion, introduction to NSX logical switching.